Good morning, everyone. My name's Stefan, the Digital Commando, and welcome to episode 17 of the Digital Commando Show. It's Web Wednesday, so what are we going to be talking about today? Right, as a recap, if you missed last week's Web Wednesday, we're looking at what makes a good website. And then once you've got a website, how to drive traffic to your website. And then we'll talk about using affiliates, brand ambassadors, and influencers to increase that traffic even more. Okay, guys, so who are my guests today? I've got for you Dave and Mario. So let's bring them into the room. Hi, Dave. Hi, Mario. How you doing?
Hi.
Morning, Stefan. Good, thanks, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thank you. Good. So for those that don't know you guys, would you like to introduce yourself? Dave, would you like to go first?
Yeah, morning, everybody. I'm Dave Kitchen, and I've done all sorts of different things in my life. But I've got a technology background. I've got a degree from the University of Bradford, and I ran an IT support business for a number of years. And then I started a taxi company. And when I ran the taxi company, I did all of the web, built the website, the web marketing, digital marketing. I did all of that myself. So that's kind of what my experience is in terms of this podcast today.
Fantastic. Cheers, Dave. We look forward to hearing more about that. Over to you, Mario.
Okay, thanks. Hi, Stefan. I've studied graphic design when I went to university, and I worked in design ever since. So I've worked in branding recently, and it's been a pretty straightforward story, really. I work with branding, work with small companies, work with large companies as well, just helping companies sort of understand their core values and interpreting that into a visual identity. So that's pretty much what I do.
Superb. Thank you, Mario. So for everybody watching today, we've got some fantastic expertise in the room. So feel free to ask questions. And as I always say, if you do know anyone that you feel could benefit from learning about our subjects today, then please tag them in the comments or on the replay, share the video with them all together. That would be absolutely fantastic, and we would really appreciate it. So, guys, let's jump straight into it. The first thing we're going to talk about is what makes a good website. Now, I've spoken to quite a few people about this over the weeks, about coming on the show and talking about this. And we don't even need to be a web designer to know what makes a good website. We've all used a website. So I think I'll come back to my points on it last. But Dave, we'll go over to you. What makes a good website for you?
So the first thing is that it loads quickly. So as soon as you hit the enter button or you click the link, that it's on the screen really quickly for you, so that you can do what you want to do. It doesn't matter if you're looking to buy something, looking to read some information, but it's got to be there quickly. The second thing for me is that it's mobile responsive. I probably do 80% of my web browsing via the mobile phone, and I think that's probably typical of a lot of people. So it needs to look really good on a mobile phone. Some would say designed for a mobile phone first, and then it has to have a purpose. There needs to be a reason for the website, and it needs to be immediately obvious. And as a user, the website should guide you through what you're supposed to do. So, for example, when I built the taxi company website, you could literally call from the first screen that you see. There's a call link, so you could ring us up and book a taxi. Or there was a book online link, so you could book online if you didn't want to talk to people. Making it really easy for the end user to do what they've come to your website to do is probably one of the most important things for me.
I muted myself. No, that's so key. It really is. It almost seems like very, very basic, doesn't it? But some people really forget this. And I think we've worked with hospitality people in the hospitality industry, whether they're pubs or restaurants, which they'll have a website, they'll have their menu on the site, but they might not necessarily have the ability to book a table. They're like, yeah, come to our website, see that. And we're like, why can't you book a table on your website? Oh, well, we just take it over the phone. Right. Switch that literally by just turning on that switch and going, now people can book on the website. We've seen people get like a 900% sometimes increase in their bookings just because of that ability. And people just want to do it online. Some people don't like to talk on the phone, which is fine. So yeah, I absolutely think, yeah, you've hit the nail on the head there, Dave. That's absolutely brilliant one. Mario, over to you. What makes a great website for you?
Yeah, well, yeah, I'd have to agree with a lot of what Dave said. You know, as he says, speed is paramount at the moment. People expect more and more that, you know, your website loads up really quickly. So that's huge value. I think it's, Dave, I don't know, is it about 50% of website use is now on mobiles, something like that. But it's so high that, you know, again, as he says, almost designing for mobiles is more important now. I think, you know, I mean, what I'm involved in is branding, and what I can see is that branding, it has huge value. What's the story? You know, what's the story behind your business? What's the brand? And how is that reflected in everything that your website does? You know, it should, all the values in your brand should come across the website. And there's some great examples out there. I was just having a look this morning. Duolingo is a great example of, you know, how their brand is reflected in their website. It's very simple, it's very playful, and it encourages you to sort of, you know, take the challenge of learning a language without worrying about it being too intense or too academic. It's very playful and you know, and simple, and those qualities come across in the website. So the story, the brand is really important.
I think that's a really good one as well, Mario. The story is so key to building that level of rapport with people. I think people buy from people that they like, and I think by having the story on there and having, I suppose, yeah, like the brand, the brand personality coming across in the website makes people want to buy more. Because I know if I go to a website, well, this is such a big one, stock photography. Now, I hate stock photography. Out of a rule of thumb, with I think almost every single one of our clients, we refuse to put stock photography on the website. We'll send a photographer out to go and do stuff. And I think that's so key, because I know if I go to a website, if it's got a load of stock photography on it, I won't use them. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes it look real. It just looks like a fake company sometimes, I think.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So brand is so key on the website. For me, I think tied in with what you've both said, video is a really big one for me. So I love to have an explainer video. I like to be able to get to a website and within 3 minutes, without doing any reading, they can tell me exactly what they do. Now, most of the things that I'll buy online are software based. Obviously, there's loads and loads of software here. So if I'm going to buy a bit of software, I want to get to the website and I want you to really quickly explain to me what it is and how it works. And if they can do that, then I'll probably buy it. If they don't, then I'll jump off and I'll go and find the next Google search result. And if they explain it, I'll probably buy it from there. So I love video. So I think there's some really, really good points that have come out there. Definitely brand the website. Make sure it's nice and fast. Make sure you've got your call to actions coming from what Dave said, and explain to people what you do in a very, very quick way, whether that's through content or through video. Yeah, definitely good ones. Right, guys, we'll go on to our second point of the day, which is we've now built a really good website. Now, how do we drive traffic to it? Now, this is so broad. There's so many ways we can drive traffic to a website. And I think all three of us probably come from different directions, which is really, really good for people watching today. So, Dave, you've got a bit of experience in this coming from, as you said at the beginning, when you set up your taxi business. How did you drive traffic to that website? What was your best way?
Yeah, so what I did was Google pay-per-click or Google AdWords, and I set some adverts up to drive the traffic. That starts with keyword research. So what are your customers searching for on Google that would lead them to find you? Once you've used Google's tools to find that, you can build adverts. It's really important when you do pay-per-click adverts that the page that they land on when they click the advert is relevant to the advert itself, and there's a lot of stuff you can do around that to keep the cost of the adverts down. And then there's different types of adverts you can use. So you can have them land on your website to look around, or you can create an advert that only shows on mobiles and creates a a phone call direct to you. So actually they don't visit your website, they just dial your number and the call comes straight through to your business number. And that was hugely powerful in that particular job, because people are searching for a taxi company, they want a taxi now, and it makes it really easy for them to get it. We had a really good return on Google AdWords. In terms of business, we returned about 10 times what we spent on the adverts, which was absolutely fantastic in terms of, making a profit out of it. Obviously, I know there's a lot of other ways of driving traffic, but pay-per-click, if you get it right, can be really, really targeted, really cost-effective. And the best thing about it is you can turn it on and off. If you want customers now, turn it on, get the leads, get the customers, great. If you've had enough and you don't need any at the moment, turn it off for a bit. And we used to do that quite a lot with the taxi business. We'd turn it on, get a load of bookings, service those bookings, and then turn it back on again to get the next lot.
I think it's so key there. And I think it works for that industry really, really well. Now, over the last, I think I used to teach pay-per-click advertising for Google, and it was a subject that I really, really loved it. I absolutely loved it. And I think if you're a business that takes immediate bookings, it is such a good platform. So taxis, restaurants as well, they're good for it. Any kind of emergency call-out services, whether that's plumbing or drainage, anything like that, you should definitely be using pay-per-click through Google, because it's just it works really, really well. You brought up a couple of really good points there, Dave, I'm going to mention. So keyword research is massive. Now, going back to going a couple of steps back to web design, before you build your website, do keyword research, or make sure the agency's done keyword research and make sure they send it to you to have a look at, to make sure those keywords are definitely relevant to your business and your customers. Transparency with ads, pay-per-click ads. If you're transparent, this is the biggest thing that everybody gets wrong, and I'm so glad Dave brought it up. If you've got ads that are running, and it was because the reason this all came about is because of the blimmin' those people that were the financy people that were robbing everyone, the PPI people, were nightmare for it. So what they used to do is run these ads, and when you click on it, you never got through to what you thought you were going to get through to. It was a bit too enticing. So make sure your ads are really transparent. So when they click on the ad, they go to a page that is about what they've just read in the ad. That is so key. It reduces the price of your cost per click or cost per mil, whichever way you've set it up. So it really, really works. And if you don't do that, you'll find that you'll have the same conversations that many people have when they've done pay-per-click advertising. They go, "Oh, really expensive and it doesn't work," because you did it wrong, mate. It's that simple. Yeah. So be transparent. Don't try and fool anyone, because as soon as they get to your website, then they're going to go, "That wasn't what I wanted," and they jump off, having a negative effect not only on the cost of your ads, but a negative effect on your SEO, because they've got your bounce rate's going to increase, because people go, "No, see ya, boing," and that's them off. So yeah, Dave, fantastic points there about pay-per-click. Really like that.
The other one thing, if I can quickly,
was
that be really specific about your advert. So we had 3 adverts running. We had a generic taxi advert, we had a call only advert, which we turned on and off sort of to suit, but we also had a specific airport transfers advert that was just designed for people looking for airport transfers, and that returned a really low cost per click compared to the others. It returned lots of bookings, and because we got a really good quality score, because we've got a specific landing page for that advert that wasn't about taxis, it was about airport transfers. So if you can break your services down into different component parts, that'll give you a much better return on your Google AdWords spend as well.
Absolutely. I've got experience doing this actually, because we've done this for a chauffeur company who also do airport transfers and things like that. And it's so key getting those airport transfers in. Wedding cars. Obviously, be careful that make sure the competition in the area aren't doing it as well. But if your competitors aren't using pay-per-click, absolutely no brainer. Get stuck right in there. Mario, over to you. So what's your kind of proven method, or your preferred method of driving traffic to a website?
I mean, I guess social media is. I mean, I'm being told that posting is, really valuable these days, that we should be out there posting every day, and driving people via social media to our website, which is, the sort of the end of the funnel, isn't it? And so there's great value in posting content, posting videos on LinkedIn, Facebook. Facebook has a service, don't they? Facebook Pixel, where you can actually see if people are clicking through ads on your Facebook onto your website. You can actually sort of track that movement and sort of get an understanding of how it's working. So I guess a lot of social media really is the answer, apart from paying for ads and things. Yeah, that's a lot of the advice I'm getting from experts, is keep posting and having a presence on social media that will drive people to your website.
Absolutely. I think it was definitely my area, which is pay for ads, buy ads. Like, you'll get traffic from ads. I personally not a big fan of organic social media, but I've never seen that it really works, especially with the algorithm updates. Apart from LinkedIn's amazing. So if people aren't using LinkedIn, that's been my top tip for the last 3 days. Every show for 3 days, I've said, get on LinkedIn. So everybody needs to be on LinkedIn. Best organic reach apart from TikTok. Not everybody likes TikTok, so we won't go on to that. But yeah, it's definitely LinkedIn for organic reach. And if you're doing normal posting, if you've got a limited budget, then LinkedIn is so good. Apart from that, posting on social media, it's all right. It's great for brand. I think it is your shop window. This is what people have got to remember. When someone is thinking about buying from you, they will come to your Facebook page and they want to see that you're relevant and you're current. And if you've posted in the last couple of days, then that's a massive bonus. If you haven't, especially now, they might think, number one, maybe you're closed, or maybe you're closed altogether. That's it, shut down. So make sure you are keeping current on things so that people know that you're definitely there. Like Mario, you do quite a lot of SEO, right?
No, I mostly work in branding, so it's not SEO is not really my it's not really where my expertise is.
Okay.
It's mostly brand design, visual identity, that sort of stuff.
From a branding perspective, when people are thinking about kind of what things, I'm just going to move my screen a bit. Okay. When people are thinking about what kind of content to post for their brand, do you give them any kind of direction on that as to these are really good things to post?
Well, it's interesting with social media, isn't it? Because there's different points of view. Some people telling you to sell your stuff all the time. Some people saying, post up pictures of cats and you'll get the most views. So it's hard to say, really. I mean, I guess it's a mixture of all of it, really. LinkedIn seems to become more like Facebook these days, doesn't it? So,
Definitely.
and you see more sort of personal content on there, as well as people talking about their business and not just selling their business, but giving, I think, important tips, giving away information and useful information is really valuable, isn't it? And people sort of they'll listen to you and they'll take you on as an expert. And, I think that's really valuable. It's just having content that isn't just about selling your stuff, but is useful. I think that's valuable.
Absolutely. And this is one of the things that I'm drilling into people at the minute, that the sales process online is no different to the sales process if you work in retail. You still need to introduce yourself to someone. You still need to build a bit of rapport, then educate them about the products or services you provide, and then sell to them. If anybody, it's the biggest fail when I did a survey earlier in the year. I think it was like January or end of December. And it was saying to people, how many people have lost money on Facebook advertising? And it was incredible. Like 95% of business owners that came back to survey, which was well over 200, had all lost money on Facebook advertising. And it's very easy, without even looking at their campaigns. I know exactly why it is. And it's because they create 1 or 2 or 3 ads for each product or service they do. And they go, hi, this is me. Buy stuff. And it's
Yeah.
like, hold on a minute, nobody even knows who you are. You've built no relationship, no rapport. You wouldn't expect to walk down the street and say, buy this from me. Like, it's,
Yeah.
no one's going to do it. So,
No, that's right. Well, what is it? Talk about in sales. They talk about 9 or 10 touch points. Is it before someone's actually going to buy anything from you?
yeah,
Is it
it
9
varies
or 10? I
depending
forget
on who
the
you
number.
speak to, doesn't it? Some people say 7.
Yeah.
Some people say, I say it's more like 12 when you're online.
Yeah.
So much content now. I think it's actually gone up. Some people have said it's
Right.
I wouldn't necessarily agree. But from our campaigns that we see, we're doing multiple touch points, whether that's through, for those that don't know what we're talking about in regards to touch points, we're looking at how many times you can interact with the customer, whether that's they watch a video of yours on Facebook, then they see you on Twitter, then they see you on LinkedIn, then they get an email, then they come to your website and watch a video. Like, the more times you can get to people that way, Google ads, everything, and then eventually they'll buy from you. So it's not cheap to get a customer now, but it's effective. So yeah, that's really, really good points there. Okay, so what's our final point for the day? It is using affiliates, brand ambassadors, and influencers. Now, this is a really interesting subject. And I was actually having this conversation yesterday with someone about them. They were looking to potentially use an influencer. And they said, oh, okay, we're going to do loads of influencer research. We're going to make sure that the influencers following is real and things like that, because there is a lot of fake following out there. And I said, okay, well, how are you going to set that? How are you going to set it up? And they said, oh, well, they're going to be one of our influencers. We're thinking about paying them commission on everything that they sell for us. And I said, okay, so they're a brand ambassador. They're not an influencer. That's completely different.
Right.
And it was kind of strange, the differences between affiliates, brand ambassadors, which is just, in my eyes, a hyped up affiliate, and then an influencer, which is designed to do what it says on the tin, which is influences people's buying mentality. So, Dave, have you used influencers or brand ambassadors, or what did I say? Influencers, brand ambassador, or affiliates before?
No, not really. However, I think there's an opportunity for every business to use this on a really smaller scale. So you don't necessarily use a celebrity, but you work with a customer and provide them with an exceptional service to the point where they rave about you and they become an influencer for your business, because they, particularly with a local service like ours that a lot of people need, they tell their friends, and their friends ring up and say, Mr. Smith told me to give you a call because you looked after him when you took him to the airport, or you picked him up in the middle of town drunk on a race night, and he got home really quickly because you looked after him. And I guess that's how we use that kind of thing, is just create customers that are so loyal and come back to us time and time again that they want to recommend us to their friends and their family and their colleagues.
I think that's a great way to do it. And you said about the local market as well. That's so good as well. If everybody's looking at potentially using influencers or ambassadors or people that have got a good following, then do the research, but look at it very locally. You don't have to have someone from Towie if you're trying to sell in Durham. Do you know what I mean? That's the point. And Northerners hate Southerners, so it wouldn't do you any good, would it?
No.
So honestly, it's look at, if you just go on, the easiest way to do this for anybody is like, how do I find an influencer in my local area? Go into Instagram, hashtag Durham, and then see who comes up, and then look at their Instagram and look at their following, and then check all of their posts and see how many people are engaging with every single one of their posts, and then maybe look at the followers to make sure they're real as well. So yeah, no, I think for local businesses, there is still the opportunity to use affiliates or influencers and affiliates in the same way. So for almost any business, you can do like an introduction scheme. I know that it can do this in the taxi world as well. If you're doing the B2B contracts, if you introduce us to so and so and we get the contract, then we'll give you an introducer fee and things like that. So that's an affiliate program in essence. You can do the same thing for introducing customers. Now, it's a great time to do it now, I think, because of the situation that we're in. Incentivizing people to introduce new business is so good. So if you've got a bank of customers that you're currently using at the minute and you need more because maybe you've lost a few because of the coronavirus pandemic we've got, then go to all those people, even if it's on the phone, and say, "Hi Bob, how are you doing? I hope you're having a fantastic week. Just wanted to catch up with you." Have a quick catch up with them, and at the end, don't be scared to ask for referrals or introduce them to, "Oh, by the way, Bob, we've just set up an affiliate program where if you introduce anybody just like you that we've managed to provide a fantastic service for, as you've just said on the phone to me a minute ago because I asked you, then if you introduce them, we'll actually give you money for everybody that introduces and becomes a customer." How does that sound to you? Sounds fantastic? Superb. They'll introduce people to you. They're going to make money at the same time. And you're going to pick up new clients. And you're only doing it on the back of the great service you've already provided for them. So this is key with your affiliate marketing, is you need to provide a good service to the individuals to then get the additional referral business. So really key. Mario, what about yourself? Have you got much experience in this area?
Not really. So the businesses, I've sort of seen it on a local level, as you know, as Dave pointed out. And you sort of see how they're locally in this area. I've seen there's a lot of small businesses, a very strong network of people, and everyone's very friendly. And they do their best. I find that people are very good and they're doing their best to help each other out. And I sort of, there are some sort of slightly larger personalities around here as well that I've noticed. So as you're saying, it's relative to the size of the business where you need to find an influencer. And if you're working locally, there are some, in the small business market, there are some personalities, I would call them. I won't say who they are, but they do have quite a lot of influence, I find. So as we're saying, it depends on the size of the business, what you need. But I think that was an important point, that if you're working locally, to look for the local people and plug into the network that is already there.
Yeah, 100%. Have we all got guitars in the background of our pictures? I've got one.
No, I don't have a guitar.
It's like the rest of the stuff in this office. So I don't know how to use any of it.
It's just
conveniently. We won't get you to play a song. But right. So Mario, from a brand perspective, have you got any advice for people that are maybe looking for influencers to make sure they fit with their brand? Is that important, or is it just any influence?
Yeah, I think so. It has to be, doesn't it? Because what you're selling and who you are quite inextricably linked, aren't they? If you have a small business, you are your business, aren't you? So and so your brand, that extends into your brand and why you're doing what you do. And so an influencer will need to line up, with you and your core values. I think is really important. Otherwise, I think naturally you just get on with people, don't you, anyway? So it would be quite a sort of organic thing. I think you'd find you get on well with someone, they sort of have similar points of view, and you feel that they would promote you well. So I imagine it's quite organic when you know what you're doing and why you're doing it. But I think it is hugely important that you don't just take someone because you think they're an important person. They have to you have to gel with them, and they have to be, they have to be on board with who you are and why you do what you do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's so key. It's a good thing just for people to have a small think about before they do engage with an influencer or brand ambassadors, to make sure that their following is the same as yours. That's one key thing. It's quite obvious, but make sure that the people that they're influencing are the right people. Now, I could call up a TikTok star now with 6 million followers and go, "Can you promote my product, the Digital Commando Academy?" And they'll go, "Yeah, sure. Okay, pay me some money." Pay them some money. They influence a load of 15-year-old girls on TikTok doing dances. That's exactly how it could work. But yeah, I've got an influencer that's got 6 million followers, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't do anything. So yeah, make sure you're checking it's the right influencers for your brand. That is really, really important. Now we've a great tip for people on this one, if you can get away with it, is using an app called Cameo. Now, influencer marketing is really, really expensive for anybody that's tried it. If you want really good celebrity influencers, now I'm not going to like the celebrities I've got in touch with have been absolutely fantastic. To promote this show, we got in touch with Thomas. If anybody watched The Apprentice last year, and for I shouldn't say this on the show. Why am I doing this? I should have said he did it for free because he really liked the show. No, so we paid him to promote the show, which was £11. Like, no shit. It costs 11 quid for him to do a video going, go and watch the Digital Commando show. It's absolutely brilliant. And then what we did is, because he was on The Apprentice, we just run an ad with his video saying, go and watch the show, to everybody in the UK that likes The Apprentice. Absolutely no-brainer. And things like that. So if you do need a little bit of influencer marketing, try going to Cameo, because you can get some really great videos from quite big celebrities. And I mean like really big celebrities. If anybody's a fan of Neo, he's obviously huge in America, around the world actually, international singer. You can get a video of him for like $200 or something ridiculous. So
wow,
stuff like that. It's absolutely bonkers. We've had for one of the clients last week, we had Amy Charles from The Only Way Is Essex do a message for them to say thanks to all of their customers actually who'd been obviously still working with them throughout the pandemic. So that was really nice. £25, absolute bargain for Amy Charles, who's got I don't know how many million followers online. So I think, yeah, if you can get into that, now they won't always do business requests, but like my mum always says, you don't ask, you don't get. So give it a go. Why not? And if they don't do the video, you get your money back anyway. So what have you got to lose? So that would be my tip. Just a little pot of gold there.
That's surprising, actually. You wouldn't expect it, would you? If you talked about it, you wouldn't expect that you could get that kind of thing for such low cost.
I don't think there's anybody. There's Chris D'Elia, who went on there and said, I'm not doing a video because he hates the platform. So he said, I'll do a video, but you're going to pay me like $50,000. And he said, so he's the most expensive person on the platform by about $49,000. The next person down that I'm aware of is the big guy, Mr. Fantastic or something from Shark Tank?
Oh yeah,
the business guy. So he's like $999, and Chris D'Elia just refused and was like, I'm not going on there for less than 50,000. And he said he still had 7 bookings. Who's paying Chris D'Elia 50 grand to say happy birthday?
Great.
Serious. But yeah, there's some huge stars on there. It's a mainly American-based platform, so it's huge NFL players. If anybody's into American sports, American TV, it's massive. But there is quite a few people from the UK joining it. There's lots of if you are targeting the younger market, there's so many influencers from places like TikTok on there now, Instagram influencers. So yeah, there's some really funny people. Like you wouldn't believe some of the people that are on it, and it shows you some of their videos, and it's in some cases it's funnier than watching TikTok, just going on there and seeing videos that they've already done for people. I was going to mention someone, but I thought it's not appropriate. There are some really funny people.
It's great. I'm just having a look at it actually, and I just put Stallone in just for fun, and you get Frank Stallone, the brother of Sylvester, and you can hire him for £103. I mean, that's gold.
103 quid. That's mad. There are some really big people on there. I'm trying to think.
I mean, as you know, if you think about your brand and what's appropriate and who your market is, you can find a random character that is just suitable. You know, they won't be, they just might be random, but they'll be so suitable to your market and your brand that, it would be amazing. I'm just trying to think of where Frank Stallone would be.
Where would he be appropriate?
Where he would be appropriate.
I'm just trying to think of somebody on here that people will know to give you an example. I've got all the American ones up on here at the minute. Oh, anybody who's watched Big Brother might know Perez Hilton from Celebrity Big Brother a few years ago. Huge character in America, massive celebrity blogger. $89.99 for a video.
Wow,
Which is
unbelievable.
Gilbert Gottfried, if anybody watched The American Apprentice, incredibly famous comedian in America, 160 quid for a video.
It's shocking, actually, isn't it?
Brett the Hitman
Former
Hart.
England cricket captain Michael Vaughan. Former England cricket captain Michael Vaughan, £16.60.
£16.
Yeah,
That's a bargain.
unbelievable.
Someone's not doing very well, are they?
I love it. You've made my day with this.
But yeah, so everyone can order messages.
Brilliant.
Any WWE fans? Matt Hardy, £109. Brett the Hitman Hart, 160 quid. Like, there are some absolutely cracking bargains on it.
You've made my day with this. It's brilliant.
Farrah Abraham, she's on there as well, from lots of different reality TV shows and other things. Yeah, guys, right. I think we've gone off pace, and we're all going to jump onto Cameo now and check it out. So I'm going to leave the show there. We've got just about up to time anyway. So, guys, thank you very much for joining me. For everybody who watched today, thanks for watching, and I hope you've got some knowledge from the areas that we talked about. And as I always say, if you know somebody that can benefit from it, or maybe from Cameo, we'll talk about that as well, then please do tag them in the comments and share the video with them. We're everywhere now. We've gone over 60,000 views. I think we're well over 60,000 views now. So super excited. Massively appreciate everybody sharing, commenting, liking, and everything. It's just so good. I've had some fantastic feedback from viewers that have said that they've really got motivation out of Mondays, great tips from Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and really good feedback from the Thursday shows where we talk about gratitude, and the Friday shows where we talk about fitness and health. So everybody who's sent in feedback, I've replied to almost all of you. Again, really appreciate it, and glad that people are getting something from these shows. So it's thanks to fantastic guests like Dave and Mario just here. So guys, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. And we will be back again tonight at 8 p.m. with some more guests across the pond in Florida. So make sure you join us for that, everyone. And after that, that's me done. Guys, thank you very much.
Excellent.
And everybody,
Great.
No worries. Cheers, Stefan. See you later.
Thanks for having us.